Good evening, I'm Katerina Georgieva. Here's what's making news right now.
So right now it's really daunting to think about driving to Toronto or going on a road trip, going to cottage country. It's really impossible.
I think I'm done. It's been too much work. It's been too hard. No.
It is one thing to say you are pro-choice. It is another thing to work to expand access and improve reproductive health services in this country.
Thanks for joining us. The Ontario election campaign is officially on. All four main parties focused on Toronto for day one. PC leader Doug Ford is trying to win his job back. The NDP, Liberals and Greens are fighting to replace him. Lorenda Redekop has more.
Doug Ford stepped off his campaign bus this morning and right into a divisive issue. Building Highway 413, a new highway that would run through part of the Greenbelt.
What it does is create thousands of jobs. There's going to be over 8,000 jobs created building these highways. That's just this highway, not to mention the Highway 3 and Highway 7 and 401.
Can I shake hands with you?
I hope you're the
Liberal leader Stephen Del Duca went to a coffee shop in Oakville with an idea that directly takes on the PC's plan.
We will kill Highway 413 once and for all and invest $10 billion in publicly funded schools. I think that helps to underscore the stark choice that Ontarians have.
Andrea Horvath started the NDP campaign outside the Ontario legislature, then headed to another part of the GTA, Mississauga. She presents herself as the best option to beat Doug Ford, but also raises questions about the Liberals and Stephen Del Duca.
No matter what the Liberals say now, they had 15 years to address our crumbling schools, and they didn't. They left this province with $15.9 billion of school repair backlogs.
Green Party leader Mike Schreiner headed to his launch in an electric car.
Good to see you.
He's hoping to win his party more seats than just his this time.
The bottom line is the old parties are just not getting the job done.
This political scientist says it's no surprise the focus for all parties so far is Toronto and the 905.
Those are the seats that are most likely to move. There's a lot of seats in rural Ontario that, you can check off for the Conservatives before things start. But ultimately, around the GTA, it's where the governments are made and lost.
For many people we talk to, the main issue is the cost of living. The other strongest opinions, Doug Ford.
I'm very, very happy with what's being done at this point in time.
Doug Ford's hands have been tied for the last 2.5 years because of the pandemic, but as soon as he gets back in power again, I think he's going to do some things that we're not going to like.
I'm surprised, let's just say, that he did as good as he did.
He's not at the top of my list, let's put it that way.
I'm 34 years old and I've been watching Doug Ford, and it's like watching an ex-boyfriend say a lot of things and nothing's done.
Tonight, Ford officially launches his campaign in front of supporters in his home riding in Etobicoke. Lorenda Redekop, CBC News, Toronto.
A new battery plant and upgrades to the assembly lines has EV production on the horizon for Windsor. Additionally, the federal government is pushing for a zero-emission economy. But there are warnings that Canada's electrical grid isn't up to the task. Just charging electric cars can be a challenge in some areas, even here in the city. CBC's David Thurton reports.
Kim Nelson loves her electric vehicle, but not how long it takes to juice up fully. 3 days on her slow charger if it's drained. Even if she wanted to upgrade to a faster charger, the power lines on her street don't support the electrical load.
So we have to be really vigilant about making sure we're always charging. And I think if the government wants to move everyone in the direction of electric vehicles, this is going to be a much bigger challenge for people that live in suburban communities or people that live in the north, because you get so much less of a charge in the winter or in cold weather.
For reasons such as these, a new report says Canada's electricity systems aren't ready to take on the expected surging demand. Significant investments are needed, one of the report's author says, because otherwise
there could be challenges for reliability. That means certain outages, certain technical issues in our grids.
Canada needs to make what the report calls a big switch, connecting interprovincial and territorial grids. so electricity can be shared, doubling or tripling capacity by generating more clean electricity, mostly solar and wind. But nuclear energy can't be forgotten because renewables aren't always reliable, atomic energy advocates say.
So nuclear provides that ultra-reliable electricity. You know, it delivers over 90% of its capacity, and we can time it to deliver when demand is the greatest.
Whatever powers our low-carbon energy future, advocates and researchers agree. The federal government needs to step up with more money and new policies.
The federal government is going to be all in terms of the engagement with provinces and territories as we move forward. But let's remember that is an area of provincial jurisdiction.
Without that strong leadership to improve charging options, some electric vehicle enthusiasts fear their vehicles will remain in the minority. David Thurton, CBC News, Ottawa.
Monday's auto announcement has caught the attention of workers at Windsor's Assembly Plant. Stellantis announced that the plant will be getting upgrades to support electric vehicle production.
Well, I was affected by the third shift from last time, so it's really exciting that the third shift is going to come, and it just more opportunities, better jobs, and more stability for sure.
It helps the young people get back to work, and it also keeps the older people from having to go on the worst jobs in the plant that our bodies can't handle doing any longer.
The second shift at the plant was expected to end before the summer. Last week, Stellantis extended that shift until the end of the year. One third shift worker who was laid off when the line shut down says he hopes to return to the plant.
It was scary at first, right? Because we relied on that on the factory. I was able to collect unemployment for a little bit, and then so I just kind of was riding it out type deal to see obviously what was going to happen. I'm fortunate. I actually do have a job here at the local, so we reach out to the laid off membership each month just to kind of check in and make sure that they've been doing okay type deal, offer different resources. So I am fortunate enough to be in that situation where I do have a job for that for however long it takes for the retooling to get done. From what I've heard, people are super excited. I have friends who work there, and they text me, and they even tell me they're excited. They're excited to get back to the plant. They're excited to build one of the best minivans there are.
A popular eating spot in Leamington is up for sale. Birdie's Perch, with its well-known double-decker bus and outdoor patio, is saying goodbye. As Del Molnar reports, the emotional owner says a dispute with the town over her parking lot is at the heart of why.
I think I'm done. It's been too much work. It's been too hard.
A tearful Kathleen Yetman is selling her eatery Birdie's Perch and Point Peely Trading Post because she can't open either establishment this year. Mayor Hilda McDonald says Yetman missed an April 30th deadline to submit a site plan for paving her parking lot and putting in drainage. Yetman says she has been working with an engineering firm, but was not clear on why the deadline was missed in an interview with CBC.
What I'm saying is that we have great engineers, we have a great lawyer, we tried so hard, I have no idea. Just not enough for them.
McDonald says the need for a site plan was triggered 4 years ago when Yetman applied to merge the two properties. She says the town gave her some leeway because of the pandemic, but last fall imposed the April 30th deadline to get the plans moving. But McDonald says the town is not trying to shut Birdie's down.
If they submitted a site plan that worked for the municipality, absolutely, they could go forward and open up. We have nothing against this fantastic place. But again, there are rules that need to be followed. When you apply them to everyone, they need to be followed.
McDonald says site plans are needed for safety and to ensure neighboring properties are not affected. They are mandated by the province. The closure affects 15 employees. Yetman is saddened she has to sell.
Because it's been a wonderful show. We did the best we could do, and sadly.
Yetman says she has already had an inquiry into the property. Dale Molnar, CBC News, Leamington.
The controversy around an upcoming U.S. Supreme Court decision on abortion deepened today. A leaked draft document outlined reasons to strike down the ruling that guaranteed the legal right to abortion. The court's Chief Justice emphasized yesterday was a draft and not the final decision. And for a second day, the U.S. president spoke out. The CBC's Magda Gabrisalesa reports.
It's a smaller group outside the Supreme Court today, mostly made up of abortion rights activists. Now, there have been demonstrations right across the country defending Roe v. Wade. There have also been anti-abortion activists showing up as well.
This is ridiculous. I think we've gone 10 steps forward and now we're going 50 steps back. This is the catalyst for other things to happen if we don't stand up and fight back right now. There'd be backdoor abortions and women were dying because, you know, the coat hangers, you see signs here with coat hangers, that's what used to happen.
For every abortion, for every choice, that's ending a human life. I mean, that's undeniable. The reality is that abortion kills a child, a human being.
President Joe Biden had more to say on this as well. He questioned what other rights could come under attack.
The guy's on the Supreme Court now. What happens if you have a state changes the law saying that children who are LGBTQ can't be in classrooms with other children? Is that legit under the way the decision is written? What are the next things that are going to be attacked?
If Roe v. Wade is overturned, then abortion rights will likely play into the midterm elections.
This is clearly something that Democrats will use and use to their advantage. The problem that they have is the inflation issue is probably more important in terms of motivating individual voters. Before this decision, I think the Republicans were very likely to outpace the Democrats in turnout in most places. We'll see what the rolling reaction is to the overturning of the Roe precedent.
For now, abortion remains legal in the U.S. until the Supreme Court has its final say. Magda Gabrisalesa, CBC News, Washington.
And with this court controversy in the U.S. around this issue, one abortion doula here in Ontario says it could mean more American women come to Canada for help.
I think that we're going to see a lot of people trying to come over to get the abortion pill. And I think they're going to find out it's actually not as accessible in Canada as they think. The goal was not legal abortion. It was abortion that is safe and accessible for everyone. And that actually reflects the fact that pregnant people need this sometimes because all of us have always controlled our own bodies for as long as history has existed.
A local girl has taken home one of the top 3 prizes in a national speech contest with a speech on racism and the importance of creating positive change. Her passionate presentation began with her story as a young Nigerian girl experiencing racism.
Ignorance truly is bliss. It is a paradise where one escapes the gnarls of the real world, where your eyes are shielded by clouds of cotton candy and beautiful music surrounds you. But ignorance is also being a black girl living in a foreign country and not understanding the concept of racism, thinking it was a thing of the past and being shielded by the idea that it was not a thing of my present. I actually, the first few years I came to Canada, I didn't talk because I didn't want to, I had an accent and I didn't want people to hear it. I didn't want to bring my cultural foods to school because some kids would make fun of it. And at the time, I didn't understand that was in a way racism. So many people currently abide in this utopian realm, knowing the world isn't perfect, but still thinking its imperfections do not affect them. Ignorance is the enemy of change. It felt almost validating to see other people, other kids my age, talk about, all of these big issues and have the same ideas that I did. And it was very enlightening. I really, really enjoyed it. And I'm very grateful to have had this opportunity.
Aberode took home an iPad for securing third place in the competition. And the theme for this year's round of speeches was the quote, "Information is resistance," which is from Holocaust survivor and Nazi hunter Simon Wiesenthal. Let's take a live look outside there. We had a relatively nice day today, some sun, some clouds, and then tomorrow we've got a high of 17 degrees, plus again, mix of sun and clouds. And Colette will be here after the break with more weather. Stay with us. Welcome back. It's an initiative popping up across the country, No Mow May. The idea is to encourage wildflowers to bloom, providing food for pollinating insects, including butterflies and bees. And one of the places where people are leaving their lawnmowers alone is the Mohawk community of Ganawake. Matt Damour has that story.
I try to plant a lot of trees. This one's a tiny maple tree that's just starting.
Megan Day is excited to show off everything that's growing in her backyard and front lawn. And as gardening season gets underway, she wants the green space around her home to be buzzing with insects this summer.
To me, it's the coolest thing ever to see a little caterpillar coming along and looking for something to eat. And I'm like, don't worry, buddy, let me move you along so you're safe. And I'm just super excited about this.
To help make that happen, Day is participating in Kahnawake first No Mow May for residents, as in no mowing grass for the whole month of May. The Mohawk community's Environment Protection Office put out the challenge on Facebook, saying that ditching the lawnmower for a month will help native flowers and plants grow, and that's good news for insects like bees and butterflies.
I think it's maybe an outdated idea that we have to have perfectly mowed lawns, and those native plants are the first source of food and shelter for pollinators who are returning, and it's going to help them make it through the entire rest of the season.
To me, it's amazing to watch everything grow, so it's so cool to think that I might be that small little ant, the link in the chain, but I'm not alone. There's more people that are willing to help us.
So far, about 40 people in the community have signed on for No Mow May, and Delil says it doesn't have to end there. She hopes people will keep letting their grass grow, even if it's just a small section after the month is over. Matt Damour, CBC News, Kahnawake.
Colette Kennedy is here now for a look at our weather forecast. Colette, given all the rain we've been getting, today wasn't too bad. We had a little bit of sun, a little bit of clouds, but kind of like a neutral-ish day.
Yeah, I think that's a really good way of putting it. And as we look forward, you know, we're going to be right on the borderline with a system that's going to be stateside, that's going to want to throw some shade our way, so to speak, and some rain, but we're going to kind of fight it out. So I'll show you what's happening with the dynamics there as we go through the next few days, because it really has an impact on the weekend. So just having a look at those daytime highs right now, look at this. Because of the effect of the lake, a northerly breeze across the lake at this time of year, that's going to cool things down because the waters are relatively cooler compared with the air temperature there at 7 degrees. So that's what you're looking at for Sarnia, whereas elsewhere, I mean, over towards Oshawa, 18, the nation's capital, 17 degrees, and at least some mid-teens for Windsor. And those current temperatures still hanging in there. And by the way, that daytime high of 7 for Sarnia, that was like at 1 a.m. because throughout most of today, it was 5 and 6 degrees for those afternoon hours. There's that northerly breeze just to illustrate that and really the impact that it's been having. But we have a look at the clearing that we've seen today as that high pressure, that ridge was building in. So you see the nice dramatic erosion of the cloud deck, what was left of that system well off to the east. Okay, so now let's get to that one that I was talking about that we're going to kind of be battling through. Not tomorrow morning, beautiful start to the day, a lot of sunshine. This is at 8 a.m., but as I roll this forward a little bit, we see some cloud coming in, getting thicker into those later afternoon hours, and then we get that risk of those showers coming in, so tomorrow evening and through the overnight hours, and then this just kind of keeps skirting the international border there. Most of it and the heavy stuff does stay south of Lake Erie, but still at times getting a few sprinkles coming through. If this rides a little bit further north, it's going to change everything, but for now, not looking too bad. We'll just deal with a bit of that cloud and some light showers. Tonight, no such thing. Clear skies means some cool temperatures tonight without that blanket of cloud for insulation. Beautiful day tomorrow with just that increasing cloud. Then look for a few showers moving in, and still a chance even into Saturday. But I'm liking the way things are looking for Mother's Day and into next week. Some warm temperatures, Katarina, like nice stuff.
Definitely excited to see that 22 there.
Yeah.
Thanks for that, Colette.
You're welcome.
When we come back, it is spring lobster season. We're going to take you to PEI. Stay with us.
home.
The spring lobster season is underway off PEI. It's 2 months of work that involves dropping traps and then bringing ashore the delicacy. And it gets underway with the long-held tradition called Setting Day. Crowds gathered yesterday to watch the boats head out for another season and talked about what Setting Day means to them.
So tell us what you're doing out here this morning.
Oh, I'll start crying. This is my favorite morning of the year. Beats Christmas.
Like everybody loves to come and wave, and everybody's supporting their loved ones and their friends for the same reason.
The excitement. Everyone could feel the excitement of the new season starting.
Happy Setting Day.
It's just an important day. We all eat lobster, but we don't realize the work that goes into it. And we see them go past our house every morning in crappy weather, and they earn their keep. It's crazy.
I grew up on a farm, so this is totally different, but yeah, it's amazing. The atmosphere down at the wharf, it's electric. Everybody's just hyper, and every year the crowd grows and grows, and I love it. It gives you goosebumps to think that people are supporting all of the fishermen and fisherwomen. It's definitely fun. Yeah. Huh? Do you think it's fun? It's definitely a family tradition for us. My husband owns a gear, and like I said, has been fishing for many years, so it's kind of a nice family tradition to come and see them go.
It means an early morning, but so much joy watching them play in the water and just have fun and splash around. Certainly exciting.
And wave to Daddy, right?
We had big waves this morning.
My husband fishes out of this harbor. Our son Matthew fishes with him, Gracie's father. So she was pretty excited to be here today to see him off.
Really great.
We get such a large group of people that come, and they don't necessarily have family members that fish, but they come out to support their neighbors or their friends, or just the community in general.
It's one of the most spectacular days in all of PEI, and I think it really just shows the heart of the island. And people are out here, people don't mind getting up, they're excited to be here, and it's just so magical. I cry every year because you can just feel the energy, and everyone's so excited for the lobster season and hope that the fishermen have like a bountiful season.
Beautiful visuals there. And before we go, we'd like to take a moment to do a little bit of a humble brag. We're very proud of the work that we've done here at CBC Windsor, and some of it is being recognized. And we're so happy to share this with you. CBC Windsor has 4 nominations for the Radio, TV, Digital News Awards. And that includes Excellence in Sound with Inside a Windsor ICU, a piece by Chris Ensing, Feature News with Bitcoin Scam by Dale Molnar, Best TV Newscast for the Wheatley Explosion, and Best Live Special Event for the National Day for Truth and Reconciliation 2021. And we're so excited to be nominated. Winners will be announced on May 24th. That is it for CBC Windsor News. For news anytime, go to our website, cbc.ca/Windsor. You can, of course, find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Thanks so much for watching, and wishing you a great night.